My name is Daniel Berlin. I'm a game designer on Far Cry 3 multiplayer, and you're watching Platform 32.
My favourite game of this generation of consoles has to be Far Cry Instinct's Predator. I know it's a bit of a weird choice, the graphics were pretty tug and it's not the most respected of games, especially on the consoles, but me and my mates literally spent whole days and nights playing the multiplayer mode and crafting our own crazy levels on the game's map editor. The chance to jump into a new unexplored realm conjured up from the mind of another gamer somewhere else in the world was an amazing prospect. The wealth of the editor meant that huge, fantastic worlds could be created and fought on, and stepping foot onto a newly downloaded map felt unlike any other gaming experience I have ever had. Sure, there are a lot of duffers, but for every 10 rubbish maps, one stank of brilliance. Whether it was a faithful recreation of a well-known map from another game, a World War II beach landing, or a scene from a famous movie, a dense jungle or mountain range full of twisting passages and outcrops for snipers, or even an impossible obstacle course or a racetrack which was suspended in the air. Half the fun was simply in the exploring, seeing what people had created and marvelling at their ingenuity. The other half was from mastering that level and playing the game to win. I look back on those days with fond, rose-tinted memories because no game, not even Far Cry 2 with its technically better level editor, could recreate those feelings.
A good architect should always be considerate of his island's visitors. Don't forget to place health packs, body armor, and of course, lots and lots of guns.
So, with the announcement of Far Cry 3, my excitement rose once again, when, thanks to my work on Platform 32 and my friends at Ubisoft, I was invited to be one of the very first people in the world outside of the developers themselves to play the newest incarnation of the Far Cry multiplayer experience. In this video I'll be giving my first impressions of not only the multiplayer, but also my opinions on the announcement of the level editor and how I think it will differ from the previous installments. So without further ado, Part 1. Multiplayer. What first struck me was the small size of the maps I played on. While there I played on two maps, Subpen and Temple. Both maps flowed really well and were designed with plenty of alternate routes, choke points and sniper positions, but neither felt like the huge expansive levels of Far Cry of old. I'm kicking myself now for not just trying to walk off in one direction and see how far I could get, but each level kind of felt like you were caged in a bit, like you couldn't go off exploring if you wanted. In gameplay terms, that's not actually a bad thing. It will keep the levels action-packed and busy, but the change of scale has robbed a bit of that Far Cry magic. I played two game modes while I was there, and the combat and weapon handling in each felt solid and very well implemented. We started with Domination on the Subpen map, which was your basic Battlefield-style conquest game mode. It worked really well, and as a Far Cry fan I was really happy with how it played out. The matches were intense and exciting, and I never felt bored or confused with what was going on. It all felt right, and the Far Cry feel was there by the bucket load, especially with the return of sliding, which let me skid under incoming fire and pop up behind cover to headshot my foes. The team support points worked great here, dropping a canister of insanity gas on a group of bad guys as they tried to capture one of our bases, and watching them all go nuts and shoot each other in a fit of drug-addled paranoia was hilarious. The second mode, Firestorm, was a proper tug-of-war match, set in the crumbling ruins of an old temple. Battling to set fire to fuel dumps in a bid to cause a raging inferno was intense, and due to the length of time it takes to rupture oil cans and set them alight, it was a definite team-based game mode. Attacking enemy dumps lone wolf style will just get you a bullet in the back of the head, so it's imperative you stick together and go in with backup. Once all the fuel dumps were on fire, a radio transmitter became active which both teams needed to capture. This transmitter was located in the open at the centre of the temple, and each team had to try and capture it. It was at this point that the gameplay became a bit scruffy, with each team member piling in and killing each other in a hail of confusing crossfire. I would have liked for there to have been a few more cover options because it just seemed like you went up, died, respawned, tried again, died, etc. until one team had just enough people alive and in the right point at the right time to secure the target. Still, overall, I think with a bit of polish, this will be one of the best modes in Far Cry 3. The way the fire causes the level paths to slightly change is cool, and the tug-of-war aspect means that you will always be fighting hard to achieve your goals. There has been a lot of anger over the loss of vehicles in Far Cry 3 multiplayer, but one thing that has been kept in was zip lines. There's been no footage released of the zip lines in use, but one was present in the sub-pen map and I tried it. Sliding down, you switch to your one-handed weapon, and boy is it hard to hit anything. It's not like the original Far Cry where you smoothly slide down. Here they've added a swinging effect. It makes it feel a lot more like you're hurtling down a zipline, which is really cool, but your accuracy suffers big time. It was freaking awesome though. The new kill cam took a little while to get used to, but all in all I liked its inclusion. It's quite cool seeing the trajectory of the bullets and their impact points on your body, plus you get to see what weapon you were killed with, which was nice, and all the while you were watching this you can be hammering at a revive button, desperately clinging onto life just in case someone in close proximity can bring you back to life. It's very easy to revive, anyone can do it at the push of a button, and as you get lots of yummy team support points for doing it, it's a great way to not only keep your team in the action, but also to rack up the points for some aerial drop action. The class system is much better here than in Far Cry 2. I thought the classes in Far Cry 2 were awful, and it kind of ruined the multiplayer a bit for me. Here though, the classes are not fixed. You can create your own from scratch if you want, and although I couldn't really try it out in the demo we played, the whole class from your weapons to your endgame movie can be customised. I got a big no comment from Daniel Berlin when I asked him to talk about character customization, as one of the big pre-order bonuses is a customizable tattoo for your soldier.
One of the pre-order bonuses was a tattoo editor. Can you mention anything about character customization and tattoos?
No comment on that at this moment.
No new info there though, but rest assured this means that you'll be able to customise your character's appearance, and personalised tattoos created entirely by yourself would be pretty damn awesome. Finally, while speaking to another developer, I asked what game modes would be present in Far Cry 3. He answered Team Deathmatch, Domination, Firestorm, and a secret unannounced game mode. Secret game mode, eh? With the smaller maps and lack of vehicles, the only thing I could think of that would fit and be worth keeping a secret would be some kind of horde mode. They're all the rage at the moment, of course, so it would make sense. Maybe you have to defend strategic locations against wave upon wave of insane islanders who are hopped up on magic mushrooms and ready to make a pillow out of your intestines. It could be great fun. What do you guys think the secret game mode will be? Would a horde mode fit into the Far Cry universe? Let me know in the comments below.
That answer your question? Serves him right, crazy fucking pirate.
Part 2, Level Editor. So, as you can guess, I'm pretty damn excited that the level editor will be returning. At one point I was petrified that it would be left out, so when Daniel Berlin from Ubisoft announced it, I nearly applauded. But then I listened back to what he actually said.
The level editor per se is gonna be something we're gonna go into more detail on later on.
Level editor per se? What does per se mean? Well, according to the internet, per se indicates that a term being used is understood to be imprecise or off the mark. So basically there is a level editor, but it's not what we were expecting or used to? Is that what he means? Well, I take from this that there will be a level editor, but it's going to be completely different from what we've seen in the past. Coupled with what I've learnt from the multiplayer hands-on, smaller levels, no vehicles, and the secret game mode, I wouldn't actually be surprised if it was more like Halo's level editor, where the map is made for you and you just place items around instead. If that's true, it would be a massive shame. Sure, we will still be able to play user-created maps, but the Halo map editor always lacked that huge open-world exploration charm which Far Cry Instinct's Predator had. I will miss being able to shape my own worlds as well as populate them with props, and it won't come anywhere near to recreating the charm of Far Cry Instinct's Predator for me. Still, all this is total guesswork, and nothing will be known for definite until Ubisoft make a formal announcement and release footage of the editor in motion. Again, if you want to hazard a guess as to how you think the level editor will differ this time around, please leave comments below, or even better, a video response, because I bloody hate reading. Even And despite all these alleged changes to the multiplayer portion of Far Cry 3, I am still incredibly excited about the game. Yes, there are no vehicles, but it was still great fun to play and it had that important Far Cry feeling. I'll be doing my best to bring you guys as much news as possible on the game in the run up to its release in September, and I will also be kicking off some live streams of me playing Far Cry and Far Cry 2 user generated maps and doing some level editing action very soon. So if you want to find out more or join me in a live stream and show off a map you've made, make sure you subscribe and stay tuned to Platform 32.